Mizan Coaching. I am Dr. Nahim Mizan, MD, and I am the founder of Mizan Coaching LLC. If you do want to work with us, our contact information is simply mizancoaching@gmail.com. We offer medical coaching, medical life coaching. If you're a doctor that wants to leave clinical medicine, work in the medical legal sector, or find another alternative non-clinical career, reach out to us. And if you are a pre-med student, college kid who wants to become a doctor, or even if you're a resident who's confused as to what field you want to go in, contact us. We're happy to help. So medical coaching, medical questions, medical legal advice, that's what we do. All right. So in today's episode, and again, thank you for everyone who is joining these live sessions. I just do these randomly, so they're not on any strict schedule. But thank you for the people that have been joining me. It's great. It's a great way to teach people. Um, okay, so today's episode is the top 10 most frequently asked medical questions. And again, like this is it's a little controversial because it depends on culture. And what I mean by that is that, like, if you're in China or Bangladesh or Thailand or something, the medical questions that are most asked are obviously different, right? So it depends really on where you are. It depends on the culture. But these are really US based, the top 10 questions ever. And I'm just going to give a little bit of insight. And if you do have any of your own questions, drop a comment and I'll answer them. All right. So the number one most frequently asked medical question ever is, what are the symptoms of a heart attack? So a heart attack is, medically it's known as a myocardial infarction. And there are many different types of heart attacks, by the way. There's STEMIs, or ST elevation myocardial infarction. There's NSTEMI, which stands for non-ST elevation myocardial infarction. There's even something called a PEA, which is a pulseless electrical activity cardiac arrest. Quite a lot, right? So, but anyway, heart attacks are a leading cause of death worldwide. So people are hyper aware of the symptoms. Common signs include chest pain. We call that angina. Shortness of breath, or dyspnea. Dyspnea just means like difficulty or painful breathing. Um, and pain radiating to the arm. Usually it's the left arm or the jaw. So if you have any of these, or if someone you know has chest pain, shortness of breath, pain radiating to the arm or jaw, just immediately go to the ER, because the sooner you go to the emergency room, the sooner that person can get a cardiac catheterization, and it could save their life. So yeah, so hopefully that helps on symptoms of a heart attack. Number two most frequently asked medical question is, how do I lower my blood pressure naturally? And again, like, especially in America, like the like I call it I call it the triple threat. So high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes is just trending up. Like it's just increasing over time in America. And so blood pressure. So many Americans suffer from high blood pressure. It's also known as essential hypertension. So with hypertension being a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke, many people want to know how to manage it without medication. Tips often include diet changes like reducing salt, exercise, and stress management. And again, like, the thing is, like, with like the unsavory reality is that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes are absolutely causatively linked to your weight. So if a person is overweight, these are risk factors for these three diseases, right? So these three diseases are the most common diseases in the United States, and the root cause of all three of these is being overweight or obese. And so this is why, like, a proper diet, daily exercise, drinking a ton of water every day. Like, and when I say a ton, don't drink too much water, but 8 cups of water a day is absolutely sufficient. Make sure you eat healthy, eat your vegetables, eat fruits. Try to avoid processed junk food. Um, but that's really how you lower blood pressure. Like all of these social media things, like, oh, if you eat this certain thing, or if you do this, or they don't really work. Like, like humans have existed for hundreds of thousands of years, right? So these are all very new diseases. So if you think of it that way, it kind of makes sense, right? Like why would there need to be, like, and also I'm very anti, I don't like prescribing medications if I don't need to. Like, humans should not be on medications. Kevin, good morning. Good to see you, man. Yeah, hope you're okay. Hope you're okay. Like this is actually inspired by our discussion the other day. So glad to have you, man. Okay. The number three most frequently asked medical question in the United States is what causes constant fatigue? And I have constant fatigue, right? Like I feel like I feel like we all have constant fatigue. So fatigue is a vague but common symptom that can stem from anything from poor sleep to chronic conditions like anemia or thyroid issues. So anemia basically means like you have a low amount of red blood cells, or thyroid issues. The thyroid gland is an organ like over here in your neck that basically produces thyroid hormone. And so if a person has low thyroid hormone, it can translate into like feeling lethargic or fatigue. You might gain a lot of weight simply because your metabolism is very slow. So people often ask this because fatigue impacts daily life and productivity. And again, like, and also the other thing that, this article isn't really talking about is stress. And like I feel like the world is in like immense amounts of stress right now, like just globally, right? Like geopolitically, in terms of everything, right? Like I think people today all across the world are undergoing a lot of stress. And so that's why we're seeing all of these like chronic diseases just getting worse and worse over time. And again, like my little opinion about all this is like we're also seeing sort of like a lack of family structure. And again, I come from like an Asian background, so like for us, like being part of a multi-generational family is very protective because like then like you help each other, you get help from others. Um, if someone feels sick or something, like there's always someone to help out. Yeah. All right. So number four, the fourth most frequently asked medical question: how can I lose weight safely and effectively? So obesity currently is a global health concern, and there are no secrets to weight loss. Again, like it's really just calories in, calories out, right? So number one, like if you have like some sort of chronic disease, go get your blood test. If you have a thyroid issue, obviously this information isn't really relevant. But first, you need to fix those organic medical issues, right? Like hypothyroidism. But other than that, it really is just calories in, calories out. So like the amount of food you take in, just there's so many apps right now where you can actually monitor the number of calories you're putting into your body. And if you exercise, like if you exercise or just do intermittent fasting, you can actually reduce the amount of calories, right? So we call that calories in is what you eat, calories out is what you expend. So as long as you keep it below your baseline value, and your baseline value depends on the person, right? So like someone like myself, like I think my baseline, because I go to the gym, I weight lift, so I need to eat about 2,200 calories a day just to maintain my physique and my weight. Um, but someone who's smaller than me, let me drink some water. I'm healing from the flu. Okay, yeah. So just Ash, how you doing? I'm getting some regulars now. I love it. Good to see you, man. Yeah, how are you? How's everything? Yeah, so okay, so that's how you lose weight. Like it's really calories in, calories out. Another thing I would highly recommend to everyone, whether you're male, female, young, old, whatever, is increase your protein intake. Like the problem with the Western diet. Good job, man. Good job. You got this, by the way, dude. Like you got this. So that's a really good question, Kevin. So I believe in fasting, okay? Like I do intermittent fasting. Like Ramadan is actually coming up, so I'm gonna be fasting from daybreak to sundown. So but like 24 to 48 hours, I would say is do it once, I don't know, like maybe once a year or so, simply because and I used to do that, by the way, okay? So I the longest I ever did was 72 hours. Um and again, what I mean by this is like you drink water, okay? Don't not drink water as well. Like if you do, and this is called an extended fast. So 24 to 4 to 72-hour fasting, it's called an extended fast. And like just make sure you're drinking water. Just don't eat anything. Don't put in any calories in your body. But make sure you drink water, because without water you can die. So don't not drink water. But yes, like 24 to 48 hours, Kevin, like it does lead to a lot of health benefits. So like, I've had patients and myself, like, lose a ton of weight. And like you actually feel better, because like by that time you develop what's called ketones. So that's called ketogenesis. And sometimes the brain needs ketones, and like this basically allows you to think very clearly. And it also leads to like cell apoptosis. So cell apoptosis basically means that dead, like old cells die, and so new cells can be born. And so like, people that have, like were diagnosed with cancer, people with like a lot of chronic illnesses, they swear by it. Like, like a lot, I've actually had patients with cancer, um, like who intermittent fast, or sorry, that like do extended fast for like once a month. And like, all their lab values have improved. So I would say, Kevin, like, go ahead and do it if you feel that you're safe. But if you don't, then don't do it, or just stop in, like in the middle of it. But it is beneficial. Ash, what is the proper food routine for gymming? Very good, man. So again, I don't, I need to, I'm a doctor, so I need to know everything about you, right, man? So I need to know your age, your weight, your height, any medical conditions you have. But in general, you need to eat well, okay? And like you need to eat a lot of protein. So the rule of thumb for protein is basically your weight in kilograms in grams of protein, okay? So for example, like if you weigh 50 kilograms, every day you should be taking in at least 50 grams of clean protein, all right? And I'm actually, this is inspiring me. Like, dang, that's a really good question, Dennis. Okay, one second. Okay, so dude, Ash, you're too young for this, man. You're like you're gonna be Arnold Schwarzenegger by the time you're 15. Good job. But yeah. So I would say, and I'm joking. Like I actually started weightlifting when I was 14. Yeah, yeah. I was a freshman in high school, and like we had a gym, and like that's when I started lifting weights. So 14 is a good age. So like I would say, just like, talk to your parents about like, you wanting to start working out. Um, Gotcha. So yeah, so just make sure that if you do have, if you're muscular, that's a different thing. But if you have a good amount of fat, then I would say the first thing, yeah, you're a tall guy. Good job. Yeah, so 5'8", 70 kilograms. Like, if you I would say the first thing to do at your age, again, you don't need to worry about anything. Okay, like you're only 14, so don't worry. But later on in life, like, I'm in my early 30s now, so I actually have to care about my weight and my health and everything. Right now, just focus on your studies, and I would say just start doing like very minimal weights and running. Like running is very, very good for your physique, for your health, for everything. Um, so, but again, like again, everything be cautious, okay? Like I don't want you to go running like, in the roads or whatever. Like run somewhere safe. And if you can swim, swimming is also an excellent exercise because we call it low impact. And no, like swimming is zero impact, right? Because there's no, it's swimming. There's no, but like running, like, swimming is really great cardio. And then like, just start lifting weights like at a very low amount. So basically what I mean is like low reps and low sets. And low weight, by the way. So if you're just starting, I would say use like, 5-pound dumbbells and get your form and your posture good, and then start increasing. Yeah. Okay, Dennis Bolaños. Why do some smokers live to their midnight? Yeah, homemade weights are great, man. Like I used to use my own homemade weights. Like I went to the Home Depot and I bought like some rebar. And like, I attached these, like, I don't know what they were. They were just these like big metal things to it, and those were my first dumbbells actually. So um why do some smokers live to their mid 90s? Because they're very lucky, honestly. Like, I've had so many patients, Dennis, where, they're like, yo, I still smoke, I'm like 90, I'm 95 years old, and it's like, good for you. You're the anomaly, right? So like if you do like the normal distribution curve, there's always going to be some anomalies, right? Like there are always going to be some people that they're just lucky. That's all. Like there's no physiological explanation to it. They're just lucky. Okay, like that's it. But like 99% of people, Dennis, do not like 99% of chronic smokers do not live to their 90s. So we what do we call that? It's selection bias, right? So so it's like if we hear Maddie, good morning, good to see you too. Yeah, so it's like the reason why you hear about them is because they're alive, right? I kind of got a little bullied today. I remember you, Maddie. Yeah, you were great. Yeah, I remember you. Ash, if you're getting bullied, don't worry about it, okay, man? Like everyone gets bullied at one point at points in their life, all right? Don't take it personally. Do you know why people bully, by the way? It's because they feel like their lives suck, all right? So like because if you're a good human being, yeah, yeah. So like Ash, like if you're a good person, then like you're never gonna bully someone, right? But like if someone's a jerk, like they don't like who they are, they don't like their lives, they're probably getting bullied at home, right? Um, like they're gonna bully other people. Yeah. Kevin, I had a neighbor lady I would work for when I was young. She smoked. Yeah, like I actually have two neighbors. Um, like the sweetest little old ladies you can imagine, but they're both very old and like they're literally outside right now just smoking. Like I'm not like every hour I see them outside my window smoking. And it's like somehow they're alive, right? Somehow they're okay. Okay. So number 5 on the most frequently asked medical questions. What are the early signs of diabetes? So, so frequent, so early detection and early symptoms include frequent urination, meaning peeing a lot, excessive thirst, unexplained weight loss. These are kind of common signs of diabetes. So, like, and again, like it's all because of obesity. So, like if someone is obese and suddenly they have to pee a lot, they're very thirsty all the time. And ironically, some like the unexplained weight loss is more for type 1 diabetes. So type 1 diabetes is the one that someone is born with. So type 2 diabetes is what we call resistant. So it's because like someone just keeps eating sugar and eventually, their pancreas just doesn't know what to do anymore. Yeah. Okay, number 6, how do I know if I have a food allergy? So food allergies can be mild to life-threatening. So there's something called anaphylaxis. So anaphylactic shock is really dangerous. So that's why people carry like epinephrine or an EpiPen. Um, so common signs include hives, swelling, and difficulty breathing. So hives just means like itching all over. And then your body could swell. You could have difficulty breathing. Um, Let me see, Ash. Why is my knuckles on the pinky and ring finger? So these two. I don't know, man. Like, you could. I don't think it's anything crazy. Like, does it hurt? Like, do your fingers hurt, or is it just swollen? Good question, Kevin. Yes, you can cure type 2 diabetes. Absolutely. Good. Yeah, very, very good point. So it's like, like, and again, like, because I'm a family medicine doctor, like after stop. Well, I mean, you defended yourself, so good job. I'm proud of you, man. Like I was also I'm a hothead, so like back when I was growing up, like I never got bullied really, but like I would get into like dumb situations, and I so. But yeah, good job defending yourself. But yeah, that's just because it's just swelling from the pain. That's all. Yeah, just put some ice on it, but make sure put some ice on it, but make sure that it's not like too cold. Okay, because like if it's too cold, you might like burn like or you might freeze. You might get like freezer burn on your skin. Um, Dang. All right, good job. Yeah, dude. Like I don't care for bullies. Like if someone's bullying me, I'll take care of them. So yeah. Okay, so what's the difference between a cold and the flu? So yeah, so basically the cold and the flu are, yeah, exactly, frostbite. So the cold and the flu are similar, but the flu is caused by a virus called JJ. Good to see you, man. Yeah, any questions? Go ahead and ask. Um, so the flu is caused by a virus called influenza. So influenza A is a more common one. Um, good job, Ash. Good job. I wish there was a video. I want to watch you like take care of these bullies, man. You're basically an anime protagonist now, man. Um, but yeah, so the cold is due to like a bunch of different. They're due to like different minor, like mild viruses, like rhinovirus. But the flu is specific. The flu is due to influenza. Yeah, but they both present kind of similarly, right? Like you feel like a stuffy nose or rhinorrhea, like like a sore throat. Like a sore throat, you get a fever. Yeah, and these are contagious. So like if you do have, and these are called upper respiratory infections. So if you do have these, like just quarantine yourself. Take some cough medicine, some Tylenol if you have a fever. Like, yeah, man. In a few years, just ask for their number. All right. Yeah. And always fight for good. All right, Ash? Like that's something that I learned growing up. Like if you fight for good, you will be a hero. But if you just fight because you're a whatever, no one will respect you. Um very good, man. And again, that's a really important thing about just growing up. It's like we all feel emotions, right? But if you feel like if you feel that there is injustice in the world, then fight for justice. Okay, like don't let your emotions get to you. Like if somebody insults you or something, but it's not worth it, then don't engage. Yeah. Okay, number 8, how can I improve my gut health? So yeah, so there's probiotics, prebiotics, there's fiber, there's avoiding processed foods. Um, okay, Pfizer got a shot or cure. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. Like you know me, right? Like by this time, you guys know me. So I'm like an anti. I'm okay. I'm not anti-medicine. That's kind of dumb to say, but I don't believe in prescribing so many drugs for everything. It doesn't make any sense because, the human body has natural abilities to fight most things. And again, everything is environmental, right? So it's like it's what you eat, it's the environment you live in, it's the amount of stress that you are under. Um, Medications are scientifically proven to help in certain ways, but you need to find the root cause of why someone has something, right? So like a really important, like for example, like depression and anxiety, right? So it's like yes, like there could be an imbalance of neurotransmitters like serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, right? Like this is a very real thing. So like if a person has an imbalance of neurotransmitters, SSRIs help, SNRIs help. Of course they do. If the environment is causing you anxiety and depression, what are medications going to do for you, right? Like it's like if you're just popping pills and you live in a place that you hate, you're surrounded by people that hate you, like guess what? You're still going to be depressed, right? Um no worries, Kevin. Statins are good. Like statins, okay, so for those who don't know, like atorvastatin, statins basically lower cholesterol. And again, like, at a certain point, I think it's like age 60 or something, all people should be on a statin simply because we're living so much longer now, right? But the statins are fine. Like again, if you don't need it, don't take it, but it's good to control cholesterol. Okay, JJ, it snowed where I'm at. We got a heater on. It's kerosene. If there ain't any, yeah. So JJ, like 100%, like you can get carbon monoxide poisoning. Um, so like we actually like we're in Wisconsin right now, and it just snowed like crazy. So, like my recommendation is like don't leave the heater on because it helps the pipes stay alive, but make sure you open the windows and like go outside, get some fresh air every day. And especially when you sleep, make sure there's ventilation because like again like carbon monoxide poisoning, they call it the silent killer, right? Because it's like you can't smell it, you can't see it, and if you breathe in too much carbon monoxide, then you will suffocate and die. Yeah. So good question, JJ. Like, yeah, like everyone, like, if you do have a kerosene heater or something, just make sure there's like fresh air coming into your home. Um, yeah, Ash, anything, man. So I mean, yeah, like so the brain has a lot of fat, by the way, right? Anytime, man, anytime. So the brain is made of proteins and fats and carbohydrates, but mostly proteins and fats. So cholesterol is you just wait, Ash. You're only 14, man. Give it some time. Don't grow up too quickly. Like when you're 30, you're gonna wish you were a teenager again. Okay, like that's how I feel. Um, but no. Like your body knows how much cholesterol to give your brain, Kevin. Okay, so don't worry. Like statins don't affect the amount of cholesterol going to your brain. Okay. Number 9, what are the best ways to manage stress and anxiety? Mental health awareness is growing. We all need to cope. Common suggestions include exercise, mindfulness, and therapy. And again, like this goes back to what I was saying before. Like we're in a world right now that's very stressful. So again, like what I recommend all my patients to do, and myself and my wife, is like every day take just 1 hour for yourself. Like turn off social media, turn off the news, turn off all this gunk that's like making us so stressed out, and just like do whatever. Like take a shower for like an hour, go for a walk. If you have a dog, play with your dog for like an hour. If you have a cat, play with your cat. Play some video games. You just deal with them, dude. Like Yeah, Ash, listen to Kevin, man. Like I never thought I'd be 30, all right, man? Like I was like, I when I was in high school, I was like a popular kid. And it's like I thought that was it. Like I thought I would always be this popular guy. It's like, nope, life kind of moves on. Now my knees hurt whenever I get up. Um yeah, and pretty soon I'm gonna be like Kevin. Okay, so that's just life. That's okay. So don't try to grow up too quickly, man. Like be happy. Like you're only 14. Like appreciate being a 14-year-old. Um, okay, and the most the 10th most frequently asked medical question is, how do I know if my mole is cancerous? So skin cancer, particularly melanoma, is a major concern. People often ask about the ABCDEs of moles. So asymmetry, border irregularity. Color is like variegated, which means that it's like different colors. Diameter, meaning it's large, and evolving, meaning it changes. So if you have a mole that is like it looks different like from day to day, or sorry, like let's say that you have a mole or something on your arm or your face or something. um you're tall for your age, Ash. Like you're 5'8", you're fine, man. Yeah, and you're only 14, so you're gonna grow even taller, hopefully. But yeah, so for if you have a mole or something that's like changing over time, then absolutely go to the doctor and get it examined, because 99% of the time it's nothing. But skin cancer, the sooner you detect it, the better the outcomes, because then like instead of getting chemotherapy, radiation therapy, you can just like cut it out. Um, and like a lot of times this is working, right? And a lot of times it's okay. Um, Weight, height appropriate for my weight. So yeah, I don't know, Ash. Like I would, yeah, but like it's always good to, it's good to exercise, Ash. So it's like 70 kilograms. Like how much is that? That's like 150 pounds. So, for 5'8", that's okay. Like again, like every human body is different, right? So if you feel that you're like chubby or fat or something, then, um, yeah, so, like, if you feel like you're chubby or fat or something, like, that's okay, you're only 14, okay? So don't worry. Um, JJ, I know someone who has muscle twitches here or there, and he takes stuff where it can be cured, or does he gotta do it? Yeah, so that's a really good question, man. So I think what you're talking about, so there's a lot of muscle twitches out there. So there even OCD, by the way, like OCD can give you muscle twitches. There's something called essential tremor. So essential tremor is a neurological disease that causes it. So it depends on what it depends on what the cause of it depends on what the cause of the twitch is, right? So if it's like a muscular disorder, then it might go away if you strengthen those muscles. If it's a neurological disorder, then yeah, maybe your friend will need to take meds for the rest of his life. Yeah, yeah. But if it gets worse, like if it's not just twitches, if it's like if it's debilitating, then 100% go to the doctor because you might need something else. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Like, I'm here. I need to bounce in like a minute. Um, but this was good. This was a good session. Like, if you guys want, like, I'm gonna post it. I post all my live videos, and you can rewatch it anytime. But if you want to talk to me, just comment on the videos, and like, I look at my comments every morning. So, if there's a video that you guys want me to talk about, like a subject, just leave a comment on any random video, and like, I look at all my comments every morning. Um, okay, yeah. So again, like, just to summarize, like, the 10 most common, 100%, man, 100%. So the 10 most common medically asked questions in the U.S. are: number one, what are the symptoms of a heart attack? How do I lower my blood pressure naturally? What causes constant fatigue? How can I lose weight safely and effectively? What are the early signs of diabetes? How do I know if I have a food allergy? What's the difference between a cold and the flu? How can I improve my gut health? What are the best ways to manage stress and anxiety? And finally, how do I know if my mole is cancerous? Um, so, share this video if it helps a lot of people, who have these questions. And please like and subscribe because, again, we're a new channel, so it just helps. Yeah, and thank you everyone for the comments and the questions. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And until next time, take care. Bye.